So this is my cooking channel. I'm just recording this so I can have my recipes documented because they're great. Kyle is playing his video game right now, so please, if you hear yells, it's not me. It's me crying on the inside. But first things first, we practice safety. So we tie our hair back or put it in a hat. So I got a backwards cap on. I'm wearing an apron. You tie your apron, you put it around your neck, you tie it in the back like this, and once you got the sides, make sure it's secured. Cinch it down right there. It's a little snug on me. And then you wear closed-toed shoes, especially when dealing with hot oil. As you can see, I'm wearing socks. So I'm not a professional, but you get what you get, honestly, at the end of the day. But right now, we are making, you see that right there? That's chicken tenders marinating in milk, pickle juice, and garlic. You let that sit for about 30 minutes. Oh, it's gonna be good. Because if you let the chicken marinate, it adds flavor that soaks into the chicken. And then right here, I have 3 whisked eggs, whisked vigorously. Hang on, whisked vigorously. A way to make sure there's no clumps or nothing. And then in this concoction, you have flour alongside pepper, paprika, and salt. And a little bit of, that's from my mom and dad's house. It's some poultry seasoning. That's got salt, garlic, onion, other spices, sugar, red bell pepper, parsley. So some pretty good stuff. But this is one of the dipping ingredients. And then we have panko crumbs, which is just panko. There's nothing else added to that. So what you do is you take your chicken that's been marinating, you shake off the excess, you throw it in the flour, and so that gets a flour coating on it. You throw it in the eggs, get it nice and wet and goopy, and then you throw it in the panko crust. Sometimes I like to double dip, so once I dip it in panko crumbs, I'll go back into the dredge and then back into the panko to get a double coat on it, make it extra crispy. Right here, I actually probably should turn it on. That'd probably be the smart thing to do. I'm going to get my oil to about 350 degrees. Anything over 400 is going to be scorching and burning, so that's why you use a thermostat or thermometer. And hope that thing works, because it's been in the dishwasher like 20 different times. So if my oil temp's off, it's going to be bad. But let me get everything up to temperature and then I'll resume the video. When measuring your oil temp, the prong should not be touching the bottom of the pan, because that may misrepresent what the temperature of the oil is. The bottom of the pan will definitely be hotter than the oil. So whenever you're doing it, you want to touch it just dead center and just wait for this to get to 350 at temperature. Let me reset that. You want this to get to around 350. 325, 375 is a good range, but peak is 350. And you want it to be at a constant rate. You don't want to, as soon as it hits 350, and then take off a thermostat or thermometer, because then that means it still has the potential to keep growing in temperature. But you see, it's hardly even moving right now. Moving up a Fahrenheit a second. So it's very gradual. But if we just maintain holding this right here, then it should be up to temp in just a few minutes. I have it at about 6.5, so that's medium high. So I'll remove that for now. And then let me set up right here. Okay, so now I'm going to move my lids. So I've got my chicken right here. It's been sitting for about 20-ish minutes. We'll say 25 for the sake. So now these are just chicken tenders my dad got from Piggly Wiggly. Nothing special. So you take the chicken tender, all right, and you're gonna throw it in the flour. The flour that's got salt, pepper, poultry seasoning. And I'm only gonna grab the chicken with my right hand, which will be my wet hand. So once you do that, I like to do it like this. You close it in this lid, so it's tight, and you just shake it up. Get a light coat on it, all right? Got a light coat on it. I'm gonna move my chicken over there. Got a light coat. So this is flour, egg wash, panko. You're gonna remove the chicken, but I'm not gonna use my right hand. My right hand touched the wet chicken in there. I'm gonna use a dry hand, wet hand. So I'm gonna reach around, find the chicken. It's fully coated. Just shake with excess, and you're gonna drop it in the egg wash. Throw egg wash over it. Just, you know, just get it around. And you got like this. Just wait for that excess to come off, and once it gets a little good, you're gonna take it and drop it right in the panko. And then you're gonna take the dry hand, you're gonna grab the other lid, and you're gonna shake this up too. Okay? Now this one, we're gonna double coat it, just because I want to. So then you're gonna take the chicken out. So that looks pretty good already, but we're gonna double coat it. So I'm gonna drop it back in there, throw it around the egg wash again, pull it out gently so as to not remove any of the panko that we just put on it. And then you're gonna drop it right back into the chicken, panko crumbs. Close it. Make sure it's not gonna leak, and you just toss it again. That easy. Let me wash my hands real quick. Safety is number one. I'm not trying to spread salmonella everywhere, you know. Actually, I want to get something to drink. Dang. But Diet Coke's not a beer. Let's check back on our oil over here. So it's been sitting at medium low. Gonna turn the thermometer. Make sure your hands are dry before you mess with oil too. You don't want to drop water in there and cause a fire. All right. This thermometer is a little slow. See how quickly it's jumping up to 200? I'm hoping it'll jump up right to about 350 range. But as soon as we hit like over 375, that's not ideal. See, this oil might be a little too hot. We want to have it at a maintaining temperature. So this is still growing, so I'm definitely gonna have to reduce this. Let's just see where it's at medium low heat. Because it's been sitting here for a little bit. With oil, you gotta be just be careful and patient. Because if you rush it and have it cackling over 500 degrees, that's not what we want. So it's averaging right at about 365, 366. So for me, it's still gonna grow a little bit. It was going at 370, so let's bump her down to about just below. So I got that at 5.5, so that's still medium high, but it's a little bit more on the so we're gonna come back to this in a second. But let's observe my chicken. I'm gonna do this over here. Let's observe my chicken. Oh, this is not really working. Hang on. Let me mess with this. Ignore Kyle. He's a gremlin. Oh my gosh, I can't do this. All right. So this is a double dip chicken tender. I mean, just look at that. Throw that in some oil. Oh my gosh. That's gonna be great. But I'm gonna continue to get my oil set and dip all my chicken tenders real quick. So we'll come back in a second. Just as a preface, if you think you can do this without making a mess, be my guest. Because there's absolutely no way you can do this without making a mess. I mean, all that is just from dipping the chicken. I'm not even done. I still got 3 more. So go into this thinking that it's going to be messy and you're just going to have to clean it up later, but it's going to be worth it in the end. I mean, just look at them. Like, oh my gosh. But sometimes you run out of panko, so always just add more. That's all you need to do. Because double dipping it does use a lot of panko crumbs, but it'll be worth it in the end. I mean, panko crumbs, how many calories I got? Not that much. But still trying to get the oil to temp. I don't think this thermometer works. Because I don't know. That's hard being me, you know? I mean, I'm just the greatest roommate. I'm the only one that can cook. You know what Kyle cooks? Chicken and beefaroni. Not even that. Ravioli in a can. Ethan, he makes like just hamburger meat. No salt, no pepper, no seasoning, just hamburger meat. And then Ashton just makes peanut butter and jellies. I'm the only one that's capable of making something like this. And there's so much sophistication that maybe I'm just better than everyone. In culinary instance, not better than everyone, because that sounds egotistical. Is that the right word? But I'll make sure to have at least one roommate review my chicken and give their honest opinion on camera. So, I'll be back. Alright, just got done dredging all the chicken, and you'll have a little bit of flour left over, but 3 eggs is plenty, and about 2 servings of panko crumbs, probably be pretty good. And then with the leftover milk, pickle juice, and garlic, you can drink it. That's about it. That's about all you can do with it. But look at the chicken. That looks absolutely amazing. So let's check on the oil. And I have it set at 2.5. So I think I have my oil a little bit too hot. Even for me, mistakes will happen, okay? But that's okay. We learn from our mistakes, and I know for next time not to have my burner too high. Like, it was sitting at like, I had it at 5, and it hit 400, and I was like, all right, I'm done measuring it. So I dropped the temp. If you want to cool your oil down quickly, don't move it off the burner. Just turn off the burner and let it slowly, gradually come down. Because if you immediately remove it from the burner, the change in the oil, it'll kind of, just mess it up. So, and also moving it from burner to burner, moving hot oil, it's not a safe thing to do. But if you get a grease burn, if for watching my videos and you get a grease burn, I've tried to inform you. So, but we're getting up to. It's pretty gradual, but this is what we want. We want gradual, like 1 Fahrenheit a second, but it should not be stagnating around 300 though. Maybe it'll get up. We'll start grilling if it hits about 330. How about that? But it's just hitting 300. The optimal temperature is 350. We just hit 300. If you hear Kyle, please ignore him. He's told me he was going to be taking an exam in the next 30 minutes. I now hear him yelling on the game. It's okay. Well, 302 is not the temperature we want. Now, is it? All right. Let's up it up to 3.5. We'll return. Also, when cooking, listen to music. I can't listen to music while recording, or else once I upload this, it's gonna get copyrighted. LK knows about that. So, but when I'm not recording, I'm listening to music. I'm actually listening to Sturgill. That just makes the process so much more better while I'm waiting for this oil to heat up. So, just know that it's amazing. And, what was I going to tell you? I don't know, so I'm going to end the video. So my oil's sitting at about 335, 340. that's honestly within the range between 325, 375. So we can roll with it. So when cooking, you want to practice mise en place, which is French for having everything in its place. So only thing I need to get now is a tray. That way I can cool my, what's it called? My chicken once it comes off. So, boom, tray. Perfect. And I'm going to set this over here. So, when cooking with oil, placing things in oil is the big issue that most people face. They'll receive like splashing and whatnot. We don't want splashing. So, what you're going to do, you're going to take your chicken tender and you're going to take it. You're going to place it away from you. So, if you place it, if you just drop it, it's just going to make a big puddle. So I'm going to set a timer for about 5 minutes. You want to use about 4 to 6 minutes per tender. 4 minutes for thinner ones, 5 minutes for medium, and 6 for larger. So this is about a good one. So we'll place that one down too. And you don't want to overcrowd your nest. And you don't want them touching either. So that's where you come in here and just separate them real quick. All right. And just let them cook. Got the timer going right here. While that's going, I'm going to set this about right there. So as soon as they get done, I'm going to... But that's about... The amount of oil in there is enough to cover a whole chicken tender. So you can tell by that. Here's my finger for reference. One knuckle deep. Is that knuckle? Yeah. 1 knuckle deep. But already you can see that left one I put in place first, already getting golden brown. And you don't really want to mess with them. You just want to make sure that they're not touching the bottom. Because since they're covered entirely, we don't have to flip them. But if we're cooking with less oil, you want to do half the amount of time cooking one side than flipping it. So we're just letting this one go. It's looking pretty good already. Just nudge it a little bit. It already feels crispy. So now let's triple check our thermostat again. Let's just throw them there. You always want to be checking your oil, make sure you're not overcooking it. Now, this oil, the way it's cackling, kind of sounds like it might be too hot, so we'll see. I should have it in a good range. Yeah, it might be a little too hot. No, it slowed down a little bit. Ooh, yeah. We're sitting in that good range. Maybe my ears are off. But this tender's still looking pretty good. You think it's done when it's brown on the outside? It's not, okay? Just remember that. We still got 2 more minutes. But it's already crispy on the outside because I double battered it. So just let that go, let it cook. While it's cooking, just, I don't know, put your dishes away, do some dishes. Who knows? Be useful. I'm going to sip my beverage. You can see me. This is my recording equipment. It's my phone. It's quite loud. Let's see. But I don't want overdone chicken either. Maybe my timer's a little off. Maybe my time's wrong. That chicken's looking pretty good. Let me flip them over a little bit. Oh! It's crispy! Oh! Alright, I'm taking this one out. I got my oil too hot. Let it drip dry and just throw it on a tray. Split that one. Once it cooks, it'll absorb a lot of the oil. So you may need to add oil, but you don't want to add cold oil to hot oil. So you gotta cook with what you got. Alright, let's just do a reference. This was a thick one, that was a skinny one. Now let me grab a knife. Let me get it on a flat surface. It's probably the smart thing to do. Well, who said I was smart? My roommates don't put up their stuff, so I gotta use a big knife. So that was at about 1:30. left on the timer. So 4 minus a minute 30. Let's just check. That looks pretty done to me. Huh. Let's check this one. Well, there goes the casing. That looks pretty done to me. What happened to 4 minutes? That means my oil's a little too hot. Well, it's whatever. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep cooking at this temp because I mean, I'm tired of waiting around. As long as your chicken's not pink in the middle, it's fine. But if you don't want to try to overcook it because that's not a good tasting food. So let me get a 3-minute timer going now. And let it bubble. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. Would you agree? It's not pink. It's crispy. You feel that? You hear that? Once it cools, I'm gonna eat me some. But my casing did kind of suck because look, the chicken's gonna fall out. No, maybe not. Hang on, it's gonna fall out. Look, look. My recipe is scummy. It's probably because I used some old. Actually, I don't know why it would do that. Weird. I'm learning something new every day, so this one you just want to get spread around. So that one has got a little bit poking out, so we're definitely going to want to flip this one. I remember I was making my chicken cutlets, which was just a chicken patty flattened. They cooked in like 2 minutes because they were very thin. And it was pretty good, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna flip that one. You don't want to overcrowd. You only do 1 or 2 at a time. This is a big pot. You're only gonna want to do 1 or 2 at a time. So next we're gonna do two more batches. I mean, so far this is looking pretty good. Ooh, it's hot. It's very hot. Preferably, you want to put them on a wire rack because you see how this one's a little soggy on the bottom. It was sitting like that. This top's crispy. This part is soggy. A wire rack prevents it from soggying up on the bottom. That one is not as soggy. But in order to prevent that, what you do is just like when you're midway through resting them, just flip them so the juices don't collect from the bottom. 1 more minute left in these, and then we're pulling them. I'm gonna flip this tater log. Just make sure to not touch it and let them, don't mess with them too much. Just play with them a little bit. And for sauce tonight, it's probably gonna be like ketchup. Maybe make some ranch and buffalo mix. That's about it. But it's a pretty simple recipe. I know my sister, she talked about how she wanted a home cooked meal. I was like, yeah, I did too. That's what inspired this recipe. I'm gonna pull the skinny one up first because it's probably done, but let that thick one cook just a little bit longer than its cousin to allow it to. That's my time. Everything off. Let that thick one cook just a little bit longer, and especially when you place it back over on the pan, the oil is still gonna it's still warm on the inside, and it's still gonna be cooking. Like when I place this over here, it's still cooking. You see it crisping up right there? So don't be afraid to pull it a little bit early if you're scared about overcooking it. Place it away from you. And while these ones are cooling, we're gonna flip them and not let the oil collect on the bottom and let it not crispy yet. Remove the crispy part. See, you already got a little soggy right there, but I stopped before it could do that. Oil's still looking good. Now, if you did this with a bunch of chicken, your oil is definitely gonna get dirty. Usually the first tenders are gonna suck, and the last tenders are gonna suck. So everything in the middle is usually pretty good. It's kind of like a pancake. The first pancake sucks, but everything else is great. So, oh, I forgot to set timer. So we'll just make that like 140. Ignore Kyle, please. I don't claim him. Don't mess with it too much. And if you're scared about your oil overheating, you know, you put on an oil fire, you either put a lid on top of it, get some flour thrown on top of it, but never get a fire extinguisher. There's the roommate. Roommate review. No cussing, please.
It's my favorite.
I don't claim them. I forgot to set timer. It was pretty good, I ain't gonna lie. Even though it looks funny, it's still good.
I want to see a real chef. I'll show you how it's done.
Alright, set it to high and burn your food. Great idea. And that's it. Just once it's done, let it rest for about 2 to 5 minutes. Make you good sauce. And then, can you not?
I gotta cook too, man.
And you splashed me. And it's frozen. It's clearly frozen. That is frozen beef. You're splashing me. But when you're done, just let it rest, and you'll be good. Eat it with ketchup, mustard,
mayonnaise,
buffalo ranch. So that's it. So